everybody. Welcome to the Midweek Check-in. I am Pastor Shannon, and with me is Pastor Amy.
Woo!
Thank you for being here.
Yes, of course.
Hey, you guys, did you know that people get us confused for each other all the time? They're calling her Pastor Shannon and me Pastor Amy, and hey, don't you do this and don't you do that. We're like, no, let's stand side by side and see we're two different people.
Totally. See, I have a middle part.
Yes, and I am straight down the middle. She is on the side. You're actually on the side. See, now we get confused too.
Oh, I said middle part.
Yeah, totally. We indeed are different, but Amy is our family pastor, and that is actually why I wanted to have her on today with me. We are just starting a new sermon series, and we're just 1 week in, and it's called Family Values. And that desire, that heart for this sermon series came out of this precious pastor next to me. And I just wanted to ask you, what's that all about, Aim? Why did you want to do this sermon series?
Yeah. So when I think about a series on a Sunday morning, there's a lot of times where I'm like, we want to be able to include everybody that's there on a Sunday morning. On a Sunday morning, we're diving into the Word, we're hearing what God has for us, we are learning how to follow Jesus. But what I have realized is that actually for families to thrive and for families to do well, we need to do it together.
Oh my gosh.
Families
takes a village. Hello.
Right, totally. So we need to do it, families and our church family. We need to do it all together. And families are not, when I say families, I don't mean that nuclear picture of what a family is.
Sure.
Mom, dad, kids. We are all a part of a family, whatever that looks like. It can look so different. And I just thought through, if we were to talk to families, what would be some of those really important values just to highlight, just to be intentional about, just to think through? What does the Bible say? Because actually when it comes to even raising our kids or lots of those things that come with it, the Bible doesn't actually say don't play video games.
Right. It's not quite that clear.
It's not quite that clear. And so really
a lot of gray area.
A lot of gray area. So really what we do then is we're guided by biblical principles. Who is God as a father? What does he mean when he creates families? What was his purpose for that? And then those values, the things that we value is really what ends up guiding us as we navigate all kinds of crazy stuff happening in our culture. I mean, we just got out of COVID, all of these things. There's so many complex, confusing things in front of us. And as we navigate these really important relationships in our families and with our church family, how do we do that in a way that honors the Lord? How do we do that in a way that asks him to walk in it with us? And so last week we started with the first two. We started with time and love, which are huge values to kind of frame your relationships around. And then moving into next week, we will have two more. We're going to talk about story, how being a part of a bigger story is a huge value. And then also mission. What do we do? In this bigger story. So there's a mission for all of us. And my heart with all of this is that we would all find ourselves in this. That we would find ourselves either being challenged to come alongside people that we know in the next generation, being challenged in our relationship with God and in how we see him as family, because there's a lot of things that maybe have happened in our family that has really distorted our picture of what father is. So how do we walk through that with him as our father? And then how do we do that with each other? How do we do that as a church family? So, because the truth is, and I just got done with a master's program, and I did a lot of research and study on the next generation, faith development, and all of that. And the truth is, there are some really big things in our culture and where we live that are against really developing this resilient faith in our kiddos.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I think that's really true. Yeah.
And so
stuff we have to kind of navigate and unpack, and how do we do that? And we need encouragement from each other to do that well.
That is the key thing. Is none of us are going to get through this being isolated. We need each other.
Yeah. Takes a village.
It sure does.
It really does.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on today and sharing your heart behind it.
course.
You guys, if you haven't had a chance to tune in to the first message from this sermon series, please go back and take a look at it. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on our website, lots of different places. And then, of course, this coming Sunday will be your next one. It's 4 long, so it's four weeks long. Making sure you follow along. It's just some really, really good and powerful stuff. And like you said, Amy, it's not just for people who are like within this nuclear family unit,
Right.
but it's for all of us because we are all members of God's family. We are adopted, right? We are adopted by Him, and you and I, we are sisters in Christ, and that might be why we look so much alike.
Maybe that is.
But just like with all of you, we are brothers and sisters in Christ, and so we are in family. So it takes all of us, but it also gives us practical applications for those of us who are trying to raise kids in this generation. It is not easy at all. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here again,
Yeah, of
Anne,
course.
so much. It's such a great thing. And make sure you guys tune in. And until next week, we will see you then. Have a great one. Bye.